Hello guys. Welcome to Top Anime Sensei. This video is the continuation video after Headache for Rimuru. So if you have not watched it, then please watch it. The link is in the description. And please check out my second channel Anime Sum Up for amazing recaps of different anime. So without any further delay, let's start. But before we start, please like, subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. My ominous feeling came true. More hassle was headed my way. We're already understaffed right now, so who could we possibly spare to be Veldora's playmate? No, everyone is very busy. They don't have time to hang out with you. Wait a second. Rimuru, you got it all wrong. I have been helping Ramirez and guarding the labyrinth. All very important tasks. If I can have an assistant at my side and praise me from time to time, then it will have quite the therapeutic effect. That way, I won't be exhausted quickly, Veldora passionately argued. Ramirez displayed her support with vigorous nods. However, since I already heard every bit of their conversation just moments ago, I could only think, you really do stick to your end of the bargain. But, since no one available came to mind, I would have to end that train of thought. No, unfortunately. Hold on. I was interrupted yet again. Veldora apparently did not want to back off. He was adamantly standing his ground. To be honest, when I was staying inside your stomach, I met someone whom I can call a friend. I hope that you can give him a body just like the ones you are preparing here, Veldora suddenly revealed. I was clueless. What kind of friend are you talking about here? Answer. The individual is deduced to be the greater spirit, Ifrit. Huh? How did Veldora befriend Ifrit? Answer. Individual Veldora intervened at the time to move Ifrit to the same isolated position during Master's predation. I see, it is exactly what Raphael-san described. When I consumed Ifrit from Shizu-san, he was moved to the space in my stomach where Veldora had been isolated. This, however, did not affect us from taking Ifrit's data. That's why Raphael-sensei, or Great Sage at the time, did not resist the change and allowed it without notifying me. Since it wasn't an inconvenience, I only discovered this fact just now. That is to say, unbeknownst to me, Veldora befriended Ifrit. Ah, so you want me to revive Ifrit? As expected from Rimuru, you understood me so quickly. Veldora-san was delighted, but on the other hand, I had mixed feelings. Ifrit and Shizu-san were totally incompatible with each other, and he was also Demon Lord Leon's subordinate. If I were to revive Ifrit, would he play nice? With this thought in mind, I couldn't just agree to his proposal so easily. So that's a no? Rimuru, I want to ask you too. Please fulfill Mentor's wish. While I deliberated, Veldora gazed at me with sad puppy eyes whereas Ramirez pleaded for her mentor's sake. What a headache. I was quite troubled with this turn of events. To be honest, I preferred having more people to work for us, but I just didn't feel safe releasing Ifrit. Despite his modest appearance, he was still head and shoulders above any second-rate Greater Majin in terms of strength. Although we would win if he were to start a fuss. Damage would be inevitable. He might even end up fleeing back to Leon. I wouldn't want to wake a sleeping baby. I figured it was understandable for me to think this way. However, Ifrit seemed to have pledged his loyalty to Demon Lord Leon before. Are you really sure he's willing to be your assistant after being revived? That's definitely the case. You don't have to worry about it. My sincerity has moved Ifrit. That guy really is willing to be my assistant, Veldora hurriedly reassured. Oi, seriously? For a brief second, Veldora seemed like he was talking to someone. It had to be Ifrit himself. In other words, Veldora was communicating with him in my body in some unknown fashion. Were you just talking to Ifrit? Yeah, I can do anything. Mentor is super amazing. He asked Ifrit to summon a bunch of flame salamanders for the Magitrain. That's why we should plan for the future and make him one of our companions, trilled Ramirez. I see how it is. Indeed, within the labyrinth itself, Ramirez could summon spirits at will with ease. However, once the Magitrain commenced operations, it would be much more reassuring if someone could actually command the salamanders. Gua, I really couldn't refuse the proposal from a profit standpoint. Moreover, Veldora personally guaranteed that he would take care of Ifrit. I suppose I will put my faith in Veldora. Alright, since you are so convinced, just make sure you take responsibility for the whole thing. Alright, just leave it to me. This is great, Mentor. Veldora and Ramirez were hyped up like I was going to buy them a pet or something. Hopefully, my faith in Veldora being responsible wouldn't backfire. Then let's Right, Rimuru. Don't we still have the shell of the magic core of Charybdis? That contains the remainder of my mana, so it can adapt to my power easily. Ifrit has been submerged in my Yuki for a long time, so using that as a core would be better. According to Veldora, the compatibility would work better than an emulated soul. Answer. I agree with the views of individual Veldora. Since Raphael had agreed, I had no reason to object. Okay, then we will use this body for Ifrit to take over. I stood in front of the growth capsule that had just been repaired before our break. A skeleton originally made of magisteel, which had transformed into a unique metal called dragotite, was floating inside. Inferior beings wouldn't be able to endure the exposure to Veldora's excessive magicules. However, since Ifrit was a greater spirit, he should be able to hold his own. Oh ho, this is great. That guy will be happy as well, Veldora assured as well. I began to execute the conversion without hesitation. Report. Remains of Ifrit have been discovered. Transferring to the magic core of Charybdis. Successful. Proceeding to phase 2, constructing soul container. Merging with the body made up of dragotite. The operation was completed in an instant. As expected from Raphael Sensei, how masterful. The next moment, after Veldora, Ramirez, and I watched the body receive Ifrit's core. Its form underwent drastic changes. Muscles and blood vessels started growing on the silver-black skeleton. Skin quickly formed the final layer, and just like Veldora, it had a tanned hue. Its head was veiled with wavy long hair, whose black color gave off an impressive sheen. There were highlights of red intertwined. Like a burning flame was scattered within. It had golden eyes, while its dragon-like pupils glowed a deep scarlet. No matter how you looked at it, that figure was a female, and a superb beauty as well. Oh, Ifrit, how does it feel to return to the mortal realm with a body? Commented Veldora. Ah, so this femme fatale was undeniably Ifrit. Putting aside whether spirits really possessed genders, I explicitly remembered that it had a more masculine body type. How did this change happen? Veldora-sama, this is the first time I have seen you in this world, and Rimuru-sama, I am eternally grateful for you resurrecting me. Despite my confusion, Ifrit kneeled as soon as she finished speaking. I was afraid that Ifrit would rebel out of her loyalty for Leon, but it seemed that I had worried for nothing. Immense relief flooded through me. Oh, I'm glad you look well. But I want to ask you something. I wavered for a moment. Please ask away. I had so many questions. However, what I was most curious about. I recall that your previous look was more suited for combat. I mean, you looked a lot more agile moving around. And you didn't have gigantic breasts like those, right? I didn't dare say the last line out loud. I didn't have the audacity. You couldn't exactly blame me for thinking this way. Ifrit only had a few thin articles of clothing that covered her private areas. She was aiming for a super hot belly dancer outfit. Are you referring to this look? Upon saying so, Ifrit suddenly sighed for some reason. I am afraid this was Veldora-sama's his will. She wanted to say, it was Veldora's fault, didn't she? Ifrit seemed a bit worn out, and I got the impression that she was wholly exasperated. Could it be that she's been suffering the whole time in my stomach? Now that I thought about it, Ifrit had been alone with Veldora for approximately 2 years with no means of escape. I was pretty sure she had a rough time. It was thanks to me that you got a body. Do remember to be grateful. Veldora reproached. Understood. Ifrit's reply sounded rather forced. You said it was the will of Veldora. What did you mean by that? I inquired, wanting clarification. Oh, about that. Even though I am a greater fire elemental spirit, now I can somehow wield wind elemental power as well. My hair should have been red, yet for some reason its color is mostly dark. I believe that Veldora-sama's power has influenced it greatly. Furthermore, it may have been because the Charybdis was a female that I ended up looking like this. Report. Correct. She got it right? Oi, can you really change something like gender this casually? I didn't mean to offend her, so hopefully she wouldn't hate me for it. Well, if you are not satisfied with it, how could I be unsatisfied? Putting aside my appearance, I have become far stronger than I had ever been before, Ifrit declared while cracking a brilliant smile. Veldora had probably teased her so much to the point where she had grown accustomed to it. She seemed to be tremendously adaptable. It also made her quite affable. Unlike when she was fused with Shizu-san, I couldn't sense any malicious intent from Ifrit anymore. Do you not hate me? And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you guys have not watched the previous parts, then please watch them. The links are in the description. And don't forget to like, subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates.